It's September already. I don't know what video should I produce next. Maybe another video on Fate Master character breakdown.
Nah, they don't get any views.
What about another video on how lolicon is made?
Nah, I don't want my channel to get shut down by YouTube.
Maybe another Hensuki reaction video.
The series is over now.
Alright, chill. I saw you guys comment. I'm gonna make a video on Tite Kubo's manga journey now.
God damn it, I thought I can get away with another month of doing no hardcore research and stupidly long hours of editing where it takes me weeks of time to complete just one video.
Oh well, it is by far one of my most popular series and I do learn a lot from the research, so I guess it's kinda worth it. Before we properly start today's video, go and smash the like button just like how Naruto smashed the out pain for the YouTube algorithm to help us grow together. Also, a quick shout out to this awesome viewer. I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing his name when I could barely pronounce half of my sentence correctly. This viewer has pointed out that I have put Romi Park instead of the actual Hiromu Arakawa sensei in the thumbnail. So I'm here to say my bad. I apologize for my mistake and lack of research, and thank you for pointing out my mistake. I appreciate it, man. We are here to learn in this community. I have also updated the thumbnail and hopefully it is Arakawa sensei now. Side note, comment down below on which mangaka/manga artist journey you weeps want to see next. The more likes a comment receives, the higher the chance I will do a video about the mangaka. So without further ado, let's begin today's video on the manga journey of Tite Kubo. And now, hit my intro fam. Noriaki Kubo, or better known as Tite Kubo, is born on the 26th of June 1977 at the Fucho town within the Hiroshima Prefecture. Hiroshima Prefecture is known for its natural beauty, full of clean blue inland sea and beautiful scenery like the Chugoku Mountain. Interestingly, Kubo's father is a town council member, and I would imagine he grew up in a quite strict household. Kubo's childhood is surrounded by legendary manga like Doraemon by Fujiko F. Fujio and Dr. Slump by Akira Toriyama, aka the same author as Dragon Ball. But surprisingly, the manga that left the deepest impression on Kubo's mind is the manga from 2 decades ago, Gegege no Kitaro by Shigeru Mitsuki. This manga surrounds the adventure journey of a yokai named Kitaro and his encounter with different Japanese mythology yokai. Kubo is completely captivated by its unique dark theme within the shonen manga world. Another medium that left a huge impression on a young Kubo is anime. And speaking of anime, Kubo's favorite anime during childhood is Saint Seiya, a shonen manga illustrated by Masami Kurumada in 1986. The story centers the adventure of Seiya saving the Greek goddess Athena against any enemy stood in front of him, including the Olympian gods. As a result, a huge amount of Greek mythology and foreign folktale is introduced to the reader, and young Kubo is definitely one of them. Maybe that's the period when Kubo ignited his dream of becoming a mangaka one day. Growing up, Kubo loved drawing manga character and his favorite show is Gegege no Kitaro. As a result, he spent most of his time drawing characters from the show, and he found out that his art style tended to be a lot simpler than Shigeru Mitsuki. Full of high school, Kubo is quite an introvert person, and he often finds trouble conveying his emotions and thinking through speech, which resulting in him being isolated frequently. Loneliness led Kubo into discovering a new medium that he fell in love with, and that medium is poetry. He was fascinated by the short yet complex nature of poem, how small concise sentences can convey meanings beyond pages of novel. As a result, it led him writing different verses of poems based on his own experience and emotion in his daily life into a small book. At the same time, he also found fashion extremely fascinating, just like our next door neighbor Hirohiko Araki. All of these elements built a strong foundation for his own art style that we will later discuss in this video. The summer of 1995 is a really meaningful summer for a young Kubo. This is the year where he became an adult, and it is also the very first moment where he landed his first step in his journey of becoming a professional mangaka. He has submitted his work to the manga publisher that have produced majority of his favorite manga ever since childhood, Seiyusha. More precisely, Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. His one-shot is Fire in the Sky, and Kubo's work got shortlisted into the Hofstede Award, the very same award that Yoshihiro Togashi got nominated for. Winning the Hofstede Award can be served as an early sign of recognition to young mangaka who just started their journey. But life is not a fairy tale, and Kubo didn't win the award. But his potential and hard work didn't go unnoticed. A famous manga editor, Takanori Asada, the very same editor for One Piece, saw his potential and gave him a call, encouraging him to try again in the future. Kubo was absolutely flattered by his comment, and finally his work got recognized. The following year, Takanori Asada gave Kubo another phone call, encouraging him to submit another one-shot manga. Hence, Kubo unleashes the G pen and produced Ultra Unholy Heart Machine.
Since when Ultra Unholy is a word now?
But I do know a better face to describe Ultra Unholy, and that's Bible Black. This manga surrounds the story of the main protagonist's girlfriend being killed by an addictive drug called Ultra Unholy, and his avenged journey to find the person who created the drug with the new female protagonist. Ultra Unholy Heart Machine is published in 1996 on Shonen Jump as a one-shot, and fate being fate, this is the exact same year where Romance Dawn was released, aka the predecessor of One Piece. And One Piece being One Piece, it beats Ultra Unholy in the popularity vote, which resulted in Shonen Jump giving Oda the serialization opportunity instead of Kubo, handing Kubo another L. Kubo didn't let that setback affect him too much. Instead, he quickly threw himself into producing another piece of work in Mini Master Ulala, and it was published in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine as a one-shot. The story centered around a female's exorcist and her fantasy journey. Unfortunately, it was not a big hit, and once again, his door to serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine was shut. The bad fortune is yet to be over. The chief editor of Shonen Jump magazine, Kazuhiko Torishima, aka the editor of Dragon Ball, also landed a few mean and impactful comments to Kubo, saying his manga was terrible and he needs to read The Fist in All Star and Dragon Ball to be a better manga artist. Normally, these comments would either serve as a motivation for the mangaka to produce their next great manga, or completely destroy the mangaka's confidence and they will start questioning their own ability. The sensitive Kubo is definitely closer to the latter, and he took these words to heart and started constantly beating himself over these statements. The following year, 1997, is an extremely meaningful year for Shonen Jump, as this is the beginning of an endless shonen adventure journey that brings joys and tears to the manga community for the foreseeable next few decades, the starting point of One Piece. Unfortunately, this is also the toughest year for Kubo's career. He has produced another one-shot in Bad Shield United, hoping to finally land himself an opportunity for serialization after failing the last two one-shots.
Third time's a charm, right guys?
But misfortune continued and Kubo received another L. That's the breaking point for Kubo. He started questioning himself. Why can't I make it? What am I lacking that other has? What makes One Piece better than my work? How can I get better? When will I ever receive an opportunity to showcase my manga? Why am I so bad? Who do I need to become? And finally, why do I hate myself so much? By 1999, 2 long isolated years later, Kubo finally gathered enough courage to give the manga world one more try, and he's determined to give everything he has for this, so much so he even changed his name to Tite Kubo, a name that we are familiar with. Maybe it is a sign of resurrection to his manga career. The manga he has bet everything he has on was Zombie Power, a story about a teenage boy going on a revenge journey for his sister with a mysterious criminal who's looking for the Rings of Death. Tite has improved a lot as a mangaka during the 2 years gap. His storytelling and art skill has drastically improved, but so does the manga community, and especially the weekly Shonen Jump magazine. From our last mangaka video, we know that Masashi Kishimoto sensei has debuted Naruto in Weekly Shonen Jump in 1999 as well. In 1999, Weekly Shonen Jump has become extremely competitive with many Hall of Fame level of manga like Koji Kame, Prince of Tennis, Shaman King, just to name a few, and the top shonen place is full of monster tiers of manga like One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and Rurouni Kenshin. On top of that, we also have the new rising superstar in Naruto as well, and there's only so much room for one magazine. Hence, the chief editor made the decision to drop Tite's manga. As a result, Zombie Power was cancelled with only 27 chapters being produced. Tite landed in the same place as he were 2 years ago. Has he just wasted 2 years of his life? Has he chosen the wrong magazine? Was his dream of becoming a mangaka a mistake? The answer is no. Tite has learned a valuable lesson on what it's like serializing his work in one of the toughest weekly magazines at the time, and that definitely built his foundation before his next big hit. By 2001, Tite is planning his next manga. He started off with character design. He really enjoyed different mythology throughout his childhood due to the influence of Saint Seiya, so he's looking to implement that into his next work. Shinigami, aka the god of death, was his starting point, and what is an extremely traditional Japanese outfit? Kimono. And that's where Shinigami in kimono become the core character design. Shinigami might seem too grim and dark, so we need something to lighten the theme up. Rukia. The word Rukia has been rumored to mean heaven's flower based on a user from Canada. Now the female protagonist is done, we need our main protagonist. Tite wants a strong protagonist who can protect his family. Hence, Ichigo Kurosaki, the one that protects, has been produced. Now the only thing that is left is the name of the show. Tite wants a word to describe that theme, but with a touch of white hope. Hence, bleach is created. The concept of white mixing with black to bleach out a whole new color. I'm sorry man, Tite sensei, the only thing that came to my ignorant mind when I heard the word bleach is this. When I first heard about bleach, I thought it was about a guy cleaning a goddamn toilet. LOL! But sadly, the concept of Bleach was initially rejected by Shonen Jump editor. However, Akira Toriyama, aka Dragon Ball's author, saw his work and wrote him an encouragement letter to ask him to redraft and try again. That's what I like about Akira Toriyama, man. Great, recognized, great. And Taito quickly came back with another draft, and he has now implemented new concepts like all Shinigami has their own Zanbakuto, and now they are fighting villains like Horo. And the editor of Shonen Jump magazine liked his new draft and gave him another opportunity. Bleach started off as a one-shot that is published in Akumaru Jump, and it has received a lot of positive feedbacks. Hence, editor of Shonen Jump magazine has decided to let Taito serialize his work in weekly Shonen Jump magazine, allowing Bleach to enter the history of manga, marking the beginning of a legendary shonen show. Bleach started off as quite a mediocre show, with Ichigo becoming a temporary Shinigami agent for Rukia, and I definitely felt that when I was watching the anime during my childhood. It lacks that burning hyped factor that I felt from watching Naruto and One Piece. But everything changed at chapter 51 with the arrival of Renji and Byakuya kidnapping Rukia in the beginning of Soul Society arc. Soul Society was a turning point for Bleach, with the introduction of Shikai and Bankai of Zanbakuto and the different ridiculously hyped battle with Shinigami captains. For me, by far the best moment would be Ichigo flying across the sky, landing on top of the wooden cross to rescue Rukia.
Yeah. Ichigo! 助けるなとか帰れとかごちゃごちゃうるせえんだよてめえは。なんだ言わぬぞバカ者。
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You don't even know how gassed I am. I paused the goddamn video so that I can rewatch it 5 more times. Little White Shaku was not prepared for that, fam. And then guess what it happens? Ichigo pull out Bankai for the first time. When I first saw that shit, I was telling myself, it's not cool, bro. It's just a that skinny outfit. Trying to calm my hyped ass down at night time before I lose my shit, but I lost my shit when Ichigo's giving the failed Siscon Byakuya the PP. My man's giving him the disrespectful backhand slap across his face, disrespecting any human right. I was screaming and laughing as if I was a psychotic joker. After I saw that shit, I turned emo for a whole goddamn day, wearing filthy grey hoodie that's full of takeaway smell and rocking baggy ass black jeans in a 25-degree hot summer, picking up random stick in the park and screaming, get attention, thinking I was doing shit when I was just a goddamn Chunibyo weeb. Speaking of Soul Society, we need to talk about one of the most important characters of the series, Sosuke Aizen. He is a really good antagonist. His character design and setup was extremely good. It fooled everyone I know, including myself. If Soul Society is the turning point for Bleach, then the introduction of Aizen is the core gear that changed the entire franchise. And I would even argue that was the aha moment for Taito Sensei. Interestingly, Taito gained the inspiration for Aizen from Toriyama Sensei's work in Dragon Ball. He believed all villains must be strong, scary and cool, and Aizen definitely hit all 3 of them. And I do believe, in my personal opinion, that Aizen is by far Taito Sensei's favorite character of the series. By 2004, Bleach announced its anime adaptation, pushing the already hyped Bleach to a whole new level, podcasting Tite Kubo's name to a national scale. In the blink of an eye, Bleach has been running for 15 years with over 366 anime episodes, 4 movies, and it has won numerous amount of awards like Shugaku Manga Award for Taito Sensei. But there is no such a thing as an endless party. All good time comes to a conclusion one day, and Bleach is no different. By 22nd of August 2016, Tite finally placed a full stop in the series. Bleach exits the manga history with over 120 volumes sold, making Tite Sensei the top 10 best-selling manga author of all time. I personally will not discuss the controversial final arc in this video because I've stopped it just before the last Substitute Shimigami arc, so I don't think I'm competent enough to talk about the ending. But to give some context, Tite Sensei has torn his shoulder tendon during the final arc, and like we have mentioned before, Tite is an extremely socially awkward person and he has a lot of anxiety issue. Imagine the pressure he received from the editor, from his family and from his fan about the final arc. He faces all of these struggles every single week during the series run, and he's enduring all of these pain just to provide us the reader the final arc of Bleach. Come on man, cut the man some slack and give him some respect that he deserves. If Bleach is so trash, we wouldn't even be arguing about the ending, and I would definitely not spend weeks making a goddamn YouTube video about Tite Kubo sensei. Fun fact, originally Tite mentioned that he doesn't want to make a live action Bleach movie because he wants to make Bleach, quote, an experience that can only be found by reading the manga.
But I guess Warner Bros. And Netflix has a different game plan.
2 years after completing Bleach, Tite has produced another one-shot manga in Burn the Witch, a story about the daily life of two witches working for the Soul Society. Interestingly, it is also set in the same world as Bleach, and there's an Easter egg in the final panel where the word Bleach is shaded out from the title of the manga. Throughout the years, we can clearly see how Tite improved as a mangaka and how he developed his own unique art style. Tite has a really unique character design. He will first draw a character's appearance first and then figure out what personalities suit the character's design, and he will let the character move the plot, which is similar to Hiromu Ararake sensei. He often have a lot of plain background to put emphasis on the character for the viewer, which is completely different to most mangaka like Masashi Kishimoto sensei and Oda sensei, where they love to fill out the empty space with awesome background to create a fantasy world where the viewer can actually experience through reading the manga. Different style, but both work. In terms of battle scene, he loved to use swift cut to put a huge emphasis on the action scene, and he uses a lot of angle change throughout the battle to give different perspective. This arises from Kubo's passion of movie. He wants to make the battle scene in Bleach feel like a high quality action film, hence different angle is implemented. And the one thing that I really enjoy about Bleach is the fact that they don't talk too much during the battle, unlike our next door neighbor Naruto-kun, where he spent at least hundreds of chapters giving out free lecture and education. By the end of Bleach, Tite is tired both physically and emotionally. We often find him talking about how he faces anxiety and lack of purpose once Bleach is over, which is quite sad for me to see. Recently, I was doing research for this video and I have found many good poems that Tite Sensei has implemented into different volumes of Bleach from his own poetry diary collection that we have mentioned in the beginning of the video. My favorite one has to be this. If I don't wield the sword, I can't protect you. If I keep wielding the sword, I can't embrace you. From volume 5, Right Arm of Giant. That poem hit me. It felt like to me that there is something that we use to connect and protect others can also be something that divide and separate us, just like words. Speech that can make two individuals becoming friends can also become the sentences isolating individuals. Maybe that's why Tite Kubo sensei is anxious about communicating with people. He might just be scared of the fact that they will take his word the wrong way and hurting the relationship. For me, it felt like Tite Kubo sensei hasn't changed his core belief too much ever since his childhood. He is still anxious, but what has changed is now he can freely express his feelings via manga and poems. Teaching us words and emotion is not limited to speech only, and it can be expressed through a range of mediums. I learned so much lesson about him during the research for the video, and it was extremely insightful for me. Finally, I just want to say I wish you the best of luck, Tite Kubo sensei, in the future, and hopefully you are enjoying your current work with New Sakura War, and I can't wait to see your next project. And that's the end of the video for the manga journey of Tite Kubo sensei, the story of a poetic introvert. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Comment down below on which mangaka's journey you would like to see next. You guys stay safe, stay blessed, and I'm out.